This beauty right here is my daily car. It's a JZX100 Toyota, and today we're making a few modifications to turn this into a drift car. Enjoy watching. So as you remember from last video, we installed
We? Who's we?
the steering adapters, which really increased the steering angle, and that was probably the most important thing for this car in order to be able to drift. And if you haven't seen the video yet, I suggest you to go check that out before this video or after this video. I don't care, just go and watch it. It's a good video. And this video we're starting with the radiator, which shouldn't be too hard to replace, but if you're not new to the channel, you know that's not always the case. So yeah, let's get to work and make this a proper drift car. And by the way, at this point, I really don't even know if this car will even drift. But if you stick around for long enough, you'll probably find out. But now, let's get to work. So this right here is a cooling solutions performance radiator for JZX100. The current one is the OEM radiator. I don't trust a radiator that's more than 25 years old. With this new aluminium radiator, I think we can make a big impact on cooling. Here it is, our new shiny radiator. I really like the finish of this product, and this was not too expensive after all. And this seems to have all the equipment to fit the OEM shroud. The welds look okay, and obviously the core is much thicker than in the original. So now let's get to removing the original radiator. Alright, so I've been wondering where these pliers are. I thought they are somewhere with the Volvo, but actually they were sitting right here. And I don't know how these were still in the engine bay. I don't know how that's possible. Yeah, what a great day. Alright, the radiator is filled. Now I'm not sure if I ever will even use coolant in this car, because you cannot use regular glycol based coolants on track. So for now I will just use water. Now it's time to start the car and make some pressure to the system and see if there are any leaks. Gotta be kidding me. Don't know why, but the coolant is coming from this valve. I have no idea. This should be properly tightened, but it's still dripping. Okay, here's the valve, and for some reason this is leaking. I have no idea how this works and why is it leaking and where it's leaking from. I think that there should be an O-ring somewhere, but I don't know where it's supposed to be. Now I got it. I was just simply too stupid to understand how this works. So the more you open this, the more it closes the valve. This was just very simple design, and this was completely open when it was shipped. I installed the lower part of the shroud, and it's on checking that everything's okay. I will take the car out because we don't really have ventilation here, so I'll drive it out and complete the system outside. Okay, it's running. Forgot about this plastic thing. But with the new radiator, this doesn't fit. So the engine is the operating temperature. We have warm air from vents, so I think that's done and it's time for a good test. I think the radiator is working very good. I just stopped to see if there are any leaks. Nothing there. About here, everything seems to be quite normal. So I guess that means we're good to go. We have successfully replaced the radiator to a more efficient radiator. Hopefully it will work better than the original on track and off track also. So yeah, on to the next modification. Next step is the differential, and we need to weld this. Notice how this is an open diff. I'll crack this open and let's weld it. Would you look at that? That looks like brand new. It's a shame that this is the inside when the outside looks like this. And that's ready. Let's move on to the differential. Okay, that's welded. It's not looking the very best. Now I'll make the other side too. Alrighty, we have a completely locked differential. I'm not going to show the welds anymore, but now as it's welded from both sides, I don't think this will fail anytime soon. I need to clean this properly since it's sticking a little bit and now it's ruined and I'm gonna cry. Okay, here's our differential all cleaned up, and now as it's standing up like this, I will fill this from the top with some gear oil and then I will glue a new gasket. The oil capacity is around 1 liter to 1.3 liters. I will check it once this thing is glued. And remember to use LSD oil on your LSD. This, however, is not an LSD. This is a non-slip differential. This will not slip, and if it slips, then you know that your differential has failed. And yeah, let's get gluing. Okay, I will leave this to dry here. As you can see, there's some of the glue coming from between. I would say more glue is better than not enough. Alright guys, so this weekend we are going to test if this car is able to drift, and now is the time to fit the final parts into the car to make it able for us to drift. And that means the differential. Also, I'm gonna get rid of the catalytic converter. Yeah, let's do those and then it's ready. And in the meantime, I checked the oil level. I overfilled it a little bit. It's gonna have to drain itself out. There are little differences in these, but Alright, we're back at the garage and now it's time to replace the differential, and I got some news about that. But first we need to get rid of the original open diff, and I already took out the exhaust, as you can see, so we can reach bolts better. Let's get to work. So, about the differential, this one came out of the car and this one is the one I welded. And I already tried to install this one. Everything else goes smoothly, but this one does not fit. As you know, this one is from Chaser, Taurus, and this one is from Mark II. I don't know which trim, but on the Chaser, the stub PCD is 94 millimeters. On the Mark II, 96 millimeters. So it won't fit. I thought maybe I could just swap these studs, but as you can see on the Chaser, the bore is actually much thicker than on the Mark II. So obviously that was not an option. And then I thought maybe I should weld the open diff too, but I cannot do that because otherwise I won't be able to get MOT for the car anymore. I know this looks a lot like a torsion, but I can assure you this is an open diff. And I already welded this one, so I have no use for it. I was losing hope on this one until... To make things even more complicated, I bought a third differential. This one is from a Mark II also, but as much as it looks the same, it's different. These stubs are different from this. I don't know if you can see from the camera, but these are a lot lower than these ones. And the PCD is correct. And also this one has been welded already, so I don't have to do that. I'm really hoping this will fit. It should fit, but anything can happen. So let's get to it. So I loosened up the drive shaft to get it a little backwards. There's just a few millimeters gap, maybe half a centimeter. I could put something like a spacer in between, but I don't know if that's gonna work. Alright guys, the differential is finally in there. I had to use every millimeter that there was. I loosened these two bolts and then I pushed the differential to the front so that it's maxed out on the front. And also I took the carrier, I loosened the bolts and brought the whole drive shaft a little bit more to the back, so I was able to connect these two. NA models, you don't have this pushing here, so it's empty like so. It looks weird, but whatever. But yeah, we have a locking diff. Now is the time for the last piece that we need for the car in order for us to go to the track, and that is our fire extinguisher. I know it's a small extinguisher, but it's better than nothing. And I'm not sure if I can fit any bigger extinguishers in the car. So what I'm thinking of is I will make a mount from the seat brackets. So this will sit somewhere over here. So let's get to work. I doubt that anything will happen on the track, but you never know. So better safe than sorry. Okay, now we need to find out how far this needs to come out. Here it is mounted. I put a small nut in between there and a longer bolt in here. I still have to round this end a little bit. Let's do those little modifications and then we should be good to go. I'm actually quite impressed how this turned out. All right, our extinguisher is in there. It's a little loose, but seems to be working just fine. And I guess that's enough much for this video. And the hardest thing is yet to come, which is getting the car out. Because now we have a welded diff. We need to get the car out from there, out from that door. This car goes off. And we still have to struggle with the welded diff. But yeah, let's see how that goes. Okay guys, I guess that's it for this video. The car is not ready, but we are in fact going to test the car if it is able to drift. And more about that in the next video. But if the car is good enough for drifting, then we will continue upgrading the car. Hope you guys liked this video. Please consider subscribing. We have more videos on the way. I can't wait to test this car on track and see if we are able to slide it. I'm really hoping it does, but more about that in the next video. So I'll see you next time.